a two-day quarterback coaching summit to help strengthen diversity in the coaching and personnel development pipeline. I'll now welcome in our very own Steve Weiss, along with Chiefs offensive coordinator, one of our favorite guys in the league, Eric Bieniemy, who joins us live from Atlanta. Steve, what can you and Coach Bieniemy tell us about the goals of this joint venture?
Well, yeah, good morning, Nate. And look, we're here at Morehouse College, here with Eric Bieniemy, one of the few black offensive coordinators in the NFL. And Eric, we're going to be in a room with dozens of NFL assistants, college coaches who want to get into your position, you know, to be able to lead in offense, because we see that's where the hiring of head coaches come from. So when we're at a program like this, where you're going to be presenting today to offer some advice to some of these aspiring offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches and head coaches, what do you think they're gaining from something like this?
You know what? I think they gain a lot. First and foremost, I've sat in this audience before as an assistant, so you want to gain as much knowledge as you can, as much information. Also, too, just a circle of people that you get to network with. I think that's very, very important, because a lot of times young coaches or coaches from smaller different colleges don't have this opportunity to interact with us. And I think this is a huge, environment where that takes place. And that's the beauty of this whole entire event.
Now, you're going to be presenting today. What are some of the messages, some of the things that you want to show some of these aspiring coaches?
Some of the things I want to talk about, just core principles, and basically some of the things that I've learned over the years, and some of the things that I've learned from Coach Reid about how to build a successful offense, and just basically giving some core key coaching points, how to attack it, certain things that you need present within that room when dealing with the staff.
And we're hearing so much about being the quarterback whisperer, but you came up coaching running backs, and now you are a coordinator. What about that message, saying you don't necessarily, it may help to get owners' attention coaching quarterbacks, but you can do it through other means?
Yes. At the end of the day, I've always prided myself on being a football coach. So, yes, did I coach running backs? Yes, I did. But also, too, each and every year, I took a lot of time making sure that I can learn different positions, learn all the different information that's being presented, learn what the receivers or coaches were explaining to their guys, the tight end coach, the O-line coach, the quarterback coach. So when you're going through this process, you're able to grasp an understanding of exactly what we're teaching. So when it's all said and done with, I'm a ball coach.
You're a ball coach. And Eric, look, you're on the short list. You've had head coaching interviews, and you're considered to be on a short list of head coaching candidates if things go well this season. Now, you've got the MVP in Pat Mahomes. What do you have to do to work with him to make sure that he can even take it to a higher level and the offense can be even better?
Well, one thing we're working with Pat, first and foremost, Pat is a great kid. Pat had a tremendous year last year. But Pat also understands it's all about getting back to the fundamentals and being detailed in the little things that we're expecting them to do. We focus on making sure that his pocket presence and working on his footwork in the pocket remains consistent. There's a lot of different nuances that we want to make sure that he's staying in tune with. And at the end of the day, he's a great kid. So when you coach him hard, he understands. But the beauty of it is he's receptive to it, and he understands, hey, it's time to chop wood.
And people are going to say, can he do more than he did last year? Can he?
I'm going to say this. Last year was unbelievable. Okay, it was a great year. I think when it's all said and done with, regardless of the numbers, at the end of the day, each and every team, the goal is to win the Super Bowl. So I think, if anything, if we win the Super Bowl, that will say a lot.
So there you go. All right, we appreciate the time. Again, a really good thing that the league and the Black College Football Hall of Fame is doing right here, trying to increase the diversity pool and to increase the pipeline to get people like Eric Bieniemy and other assistant coaches opportunities to become head coaches. All right, Kay, sending it back to you.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you, Mr. Bieniemy. We will be checking in with you guys. Very cool what's going on in Atlanta. And it is all about strengthening diversity. You can't do that without opportunity. They didn't really mention encouragement there. I feel like seeing a guy like Bieniemy, I would imagine being discouraged is sort of prevalent in that world and getting a job, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And that's really, really amazing.
You look at the guys that were hired this past cycle, right? It was all of McVay's guys, which was Zach Taylor, Caucasian, Matt LaFleur, Caucasian, yeah. Cliff Kingsbury with a losing record in college, Caucasian. So this is an initiative to say, hey, let's get some more of these minority candidates, the training that they need to interview for these positions and get the experience that they can get. It doesn't just go with the coaching, though. You look at the general managers right now. He went through a general manager cycle the last couple teams where, yes, the Jets interviewed Champ Kelly, and yes, the Houston Texans interviewed Martin Mayhew and Ray Farmer, but they did not hire minority candidates. There currently is one NFL GM who is a minority right now, and there is currently only a few NFL minority head coaches, Mike Tomlin, Brian Flores, a few others. It's a real issue, and for them to actually, the NFL, to help push this along, to me, Nate, it gives me encouragement that at least the conversation is happening, and everyone's not just looking a blind eye to this.
No doubt. I mean, we just saw Reggie Bush, one of my former teammates, dapping up the coaches there, and we would have these conversations. We sit in that locker room when it's just the players, and we talk about how the league is 75%, 80% African-American, and then we'll look on the coaching staff, and it is diverse. Don't get me wrong. There's white, black, coaches from all races. But then we look at the positions that are plucked to be head coaches, the offensive coordinators, the quarterback coach. Oftentimes, those are Caucasian coaches. And the fact that there isn't more coaches that look like me, sometimes that is a big question mark that we don't have the answers to as players. And then every year we turn around and we see new coaches being hired. And this is nothing taken away from these individuals that were coaches this year, the Zach Taylors, the LaFleurs. These are talented individuals, the Cliff Kingsbury. These are talented individuals. Do not get me wrong. But as a young African-American man that put his heart and soul in this league, and I see the different individuals I play with that go into coaching, and I know that they are just as talented, just as intelligent, and have a high football IQ, yet and still they don't get the same opportunities. This is why we have a summit like this. And I can appreciate the fact that individuals that are in this league can help put together a summit and try to help give players and coaches more opportunities, because that's all it is. We're looking for opportunities. We're not looking for handouts. We're going to earn everything that we want coming to us, just like we did as players. What we do want is just more diversity in those positions of power, which are coordinators, head coaches, GMs, and, of course, ownership.
And it's really encouraging to see Steve Weiss, Eric Bieniemy out there strengthening diversity, and something that we hope it will reflect in coaching on both sides of the ball in the future. We're happy to bring you more from Morehouse down in Atlanta throughout the day here on NFL Network, but Will Selva's out in the newsroom with more on everything that's shaken across the league. What's going on, Will?
All right, absolutely. Thank you, Kay. Well, Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota has a lot to prove in 2019. The former #2 overall pick needs to show Tennessee that he's worthy of a long